Okay, welcome into part three. Today we're talking all about the embodiment of the new idea, the new identity, and I gave you guys a little bit of a change of plans. So hopefully you got the memo. Shelby definitely did. And I asked you to show up as her because so often we're waiting. And I wanted us to just ask ourselves, like, what in the world am I waiting for? What am I waiting for? Right? A lot of us are waiting for we're waiting for the results to come. That is a do have be situation. We're waiting for the results to come. We're waiting for the certification. We're waiting for the validation. We're waiting for the recognition. Okay, that is completely backwards. So today we are here as her now. Okay, so how does she move? How does she fuel herself? How does she how does she show up to a situation like this? Okay, so fun. I love playing in that realm. And like there doesn't need to be a gap. We get to close the gap. So today we're going to talk about collapsing time, receiving, being our next level self, our highest self, having all of that. We're going to talk about the nervous system. We got a lot to cover today. So first of all, how are we feeling since the past 2 days? Thank you, Shelby, for being here live with me, and hi to everyone on the replay. Let me know in the chat how you're feeling. And those of you on the replay, again, just treating this as if you are live, right? Take your notebook out, write down, how am I feeling? How is this information landing in my body? How am I feeling after, if you're newer to this material, how are you feeling after discovering this information and having these realizations and having these experiences together over the past 2 days? And then today we're going to close the gap. Like I said, bring it all together, wrap it all up, put a pretty bow on top. So fun. Okay, so I'm constantly reminding myself to be. Yes, what would she do? What would she do? Move as her. I am her now. So powerful. It changes everything. There's going to be times where the mind likes to question it. The mind likes to show you all the evidence that it's not working out. But it's up to us now that the awareness is there to actually catch ourselves and say, holy shit, I'm not here for that anymore. And we're going to talk about some tools today. Some of which you guys already know, some of which some of you might be new to. Okay, so when we're in that state of like I'm constantly reminding myself to be, when there is any sort of contrast, when there is any questioning, we actually have tools that we can lean on to help us to come back to the realization that actually this is my truth, not just what I can experience through my five senses right now. All right, so we covered over the past 2 days, we covered being her. We discovered who she is. We removed resistance. We talked about resistance in a big way. Yesterday was all about do, so doing differently, taking different action, aligned action. What else did we talk about? There was a lot. So if you're here on the replay and you missed part one and part two, I would highly suggest you go back and watch those. You can even pause this one actually, because it's kind of it's the linear progress. Okay. I have created this training, this three-part experience, masterclass, whatever you want to call it, following the be, do, have concept or method. Hey, Kelty, good morning. And so if we're here jumping into have, you missed the first two parts, which are very vital. So go and watch those first, okay? Because be, do, have doesn't happen with just the have. It's a very linear concept. And also, it's very organized. I want to just touch on this for a second because organization is known as heaven's first law. Okay. I don't really like that word either. I don't really align with that, but I love that concept and it makes a lot of sense. This is a little bit off topic, but at the same time, it's not because we're talking about having today. So if you tune into her energy, tap into who she is. She is a very organized person. She's organized in her 3D world and she's organized in her head. I know you guys know that, right? And so I want you to keep that in mind because organization is heaven's first law. We must be organized because if we are not, how do we feel? We feel congested, we feel limited, we feel overwhelmed, right? And those are not high level high vibrational frequencies. They're not. So just staying organized in your 3D physical world, staying organized in your mind is going to be very beneficial. I am a very organized person and it has served me very well. Okay, so today we move into embodiment. I, for a long time, actually called myself an embodiment coach. After manifestation, I'm like, okay, actually, at the root of manifestation, what is manifestation? Isn't the embodiment of a new idea, the embodiment of a new identity. That's what manifestation is. That's how we quantum leap. We embody a new idea and a new identity. So when we talk about embodiment, I want us to I want us to notice there's kind of like a ladder of belief that needs to take place, okay? And so in the beginning, we might be existing, and I don't even want to say throw that away, actually. It's not the beginning. Okay, there will be moments of time when we feel like we need something, right? Have you, I mean, even today or yesterday or the day before, like in have you told yourself or been thinking, I need something? Hey, I need more clients. I need more money. I need more. What is it? What is it that you are telling yourself that you need? And I want you to just think of that for a second. I can think of a few for myself for sure. I am always getting better and doing better. At no point ever have I ever said and will ever say that I am perfect, because perfect does not exist no matter where you're at. Even when you're a multi-millionaire, there is still more to become aware of. There is still more available. You think about that for a second. So this is the work, is recognizing, ooh, I am in a needing energy right now. What is needing energy? How does it feel? How does it feel when someone needs you? Like a person needs you. How does that feel? Feels like strangling a little bit, right? Like, give me space, I can't breathe. Right? So needing energy is like, oh, it's like suffocating. Good until it's smothering, yes. But at the same time, if someone was like, I need you, you cannot leave me, right? Don't even leave the house. I need you. I need you so much. Then it's like, oh God, like get away from me. Like I can't breathe. I'm so overwhelmed. So needing energy is that. It's lack. It's coming from a place of lack. When we need something, what frequency are we projecting? What signals are we sending out to the field? Remember, we talked about the quantum field. What signals are we sending out when we need something? We are sending out signals of lack. There is not the thing, therefore I need the thing. Okay, there's very much lack. So when it comes to embodiment and we are in a needing energy, we are rejecting, we are literally like sending out signals. I need more need. I need more lack. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. This is landing. This makes sense. So what happens when we find ourselves in a needing energy? We can just catch ourselves. That's all. But instead of catching ourselves and making it mean something, as in, I suck at this, I'm so horrible, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not good enough, blah, 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 and we make a whole like novel about it, and we essentially are digging ourselves a grave, that is feeding that needing energy. That is feeding that frequency, okay? So instead, all we're gonna do is, holy shit, I'm so proud of myself, I just caught myself. I just caught myself in needing energy. And all I'm going to do is catch myself and redirect. We're going to talk about tools, different things we can do, the nervous system, how we can support it, how we can expand past needing energy in a little bit here. All right. So we want to move as fast as we can from needing into wanting. Okay. Because wanting is a desire. We have a desire. We have a little bit more. If you think of like the frequencies of emotions, right? Like frustration is actually a very potent and powerful emotion. It is a very like fiery emotion, because frustration can be very motivating. Okay, and it is helping us to kind of like raise our vibration, that frustration, unless we are feeling frustrated and defeated. Okay, defeat is a lower vibration, right? So we can see that there's a thin line there. So when we are in wanting, that is now we've got some energy behind it because we are moving. I want this. This is my desired outcome. I want this. There's something motivating behind it. Okay. So it's a little bit of a higher frequency, but we don't want to stay in wanting either because when we want something, we are still sending out the signal of lack. When we want something, we're still signaling that I don't have it yet. It is still not here. So I want it. Okay. I want a successful business. I want more clients. I want freedom. I want to not have to worry about money. Great. That's all very beautiful. But what signals are those wants sending out? Feelings and signals and frequencies of lack still. Okay. How many times say mic drop during this? It's so good. Thanks, Joey. Right? So we move from needing into wanting, but we don't want to stay there either. We want to go into knowing. Okay, this is us climbing the ladder of belief. Knowing that it's on its way, knowing that it's available. Okay, let me know as we go through this, let me know where you feel you are currently and where you have, even if you say like yesterday, I was totally in needing, I want a little bit of communication here. What's landing for you? Have you been here before? Where are you right now, do you feel? Okay, so knowing is like, oh yeah, I know in my soul, I know in my stomach, I can feel it. It's here. I know that it's on its way. I know that this is available to me. I know that this is possible. I see proof of it everywhere I look. I see other women with that level of success, that level of freedom, that level of love, community, whatever it is. I see that and I know that it is mine. I know it's available to me. Yes, I know it's here. It's mine now. But we don't want to stay in knowing either. We want to move into being. And this is the full embodiment of that version of us. When we are being, manifestation happens when the gap closes. Okay, it is a matter of time. I've heard the analogy, when you're on a satellite phone, we're old enough for satellite phones, right? When there's a lag, it's like, hello. And then like 30 seconds later, hi, hi. It's like, it's like that. Okay. When you're in a state and existing in a state of being and watching your thoughts and taking the aligned, embodied action as her, time is the only variable. But there's a thin line, like we talked about yesterday, leave it up to the universe to decide. Let me, guide me, all the universe. No, it's time is the only variable. And I'm not just going to sit around and fucking wait for it to fall from the sky. I'm going to go out there and make it happen because I am her. That's what she would do. She doesn't waste time waiting. She doesn't coast. She doesn't just like sit back and relax. She knows she is bold. She is fiery. She is passionate. She's going to go and make it happen. Okay, so I have the feeling that I'm not there, but I've been constantly putting myself back into the being. Yes, okay, so that's the work, Shelby. I actually am there. Like my 3D results are not real. Talk to anyone outside of this group and they'll tell you we're insane, right? But don't go telling people, invite them into this work. Invite them into this work. Don't share your dreams and hopes and desires and concepts and like delusion with people who aren't in this material because they don't get it. Okay, so it's the realization that wow, what I am currently experiencing right now is a physical manifestation of my past thoughts, beliefs, and actions. That is what has got me to right here and now. Therefore, I'm not going to let these results, these analytics, these numbers, because remember there's a lag, determine my emotional state and dictate my actions. Declaration to self, right? I love how I can make shit happen, but on the outside, it looks like I'm just coasting along with in my head, all kinds of things. Okay, all kinds of big things are manifesting. Who else can relate to this? Absolutely. 100%. There has been multiple, like countless times where I actually go to do something and I'm like, oh shit, that hasn't happened yet. Okay, it's nuts. And explaining this to someone again who isn't in this material is like, what do you mean? And I'm like, in my head, I already have millions in the bank. I already have these insane investments. I already own multiple successful 6, 7, 8-figure companies. And then I go to move like that, and I do move like that. But then there's been situations where I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah. I guess I can't just book a flight to the Bahamas right now. I gotta like I gotta think about that a little bit. But I'm still gonna move in the assumption of, okay? Has that ever happened to anyone where you're like, oh yeah, it's not physical yet, but I know it's coming and I know it's here and I am it and it's a matter of time. So I love this so much. I know that people can relate. I know that Kelty can relate. Hi, Kara. If you're on here, I can still not see. Oh yeah. Hi, Kara. Okay, so embodiment. If you guys can turn on your cameras, I'd love to see you. It doesn't matter if you're in your pajamas or if you're having a bad hair day or if you're out feeding the horses. Like, oh my gosh, so good to see you here. All right, so how is this landing, you guys? We need to move from this, like, let me know in the chat. We need to move from needing, from wanting to knowing and being that and being the version who exists in that already. It's already here. It's already done. How can I exist there now? For example, you go and make your tea in the morning and you are not looking out the window at what is actually physical right now. You're looking out the window over the lake, or looking out at your ocean view, whatever it is. Like we can, and that's why I called this, like we can be delusional. We can be obscenely delusional. And in fact, it's almost like it is a prerequisite. It is necessary to collapsing time and moving in an effortless way. Because when we are in that state of joyful assumption, we're going to talk about the law of assumption in a second here. How does it feel? Yeah, I can, Kelty, I can relate. But I still booked my trip to hike across Spain, even though the money is not physically here yet, because I believe, yes, absolutely. And that's Kelty making it, and we talked about this, creating a demand. All right. All right, universe. I'm open and ready to receive. The demand is there. Yeah, we are going. Love it. You guys, so good. Okay, so the power of our words is very, very important. Okay, we no longer, starting now, effective immediately, no longer use words like should or will be or in the future am. Everything is I am here now. It is happening now. I am open and ready to receive now. I'm going to do everything in alignment with her, right? And I do from that state of I'm assuming that everything's working out in my favor because I'm the creator of my reality. All right. We have that pinky promise that we don't use the word should anymore. Okay. We're not shoulding. Okay. So I love this quote. I've said it a lot. I just wanted to include it in here because I think it's really important to remember. And it's from the original Napoleon Hill, the author of Think and Grow Rich. And it's a very, very old book. I love reading really old books. It's actually really surprising how much information those guys had back then. But it's also very surprising, and not at the same time, that it's all men. It's like, wow, all these men had all this information. I couldn't even, begin to think, what were the women thinking, back then? What were they receiving? So incredible. So all of these old books, these old authors, Neville Goddard, Napoleon Hill, my gosh, there's so many. So this quote is something that really stuck with me the first time I heard it, and it's so true. I just wanted to bring it up again, that successful people make decisions quickly and change their mind very slowly, if ever. Unsuccessful people make decisions very slowly and change them often and quickly. What are you deciding to be right now? Okay, the more we can trust ourselves, the more we can trust in the fact that we're not alone. Remember our conversation yesterday? Lean into faith that everything is working out for us, that we can't mess it up. Every opportunity is an opportunity to grow and to expand and to get better, right? Then we make decisions from our instinct, from our intuition in a second. Feel into it. Okay, how does that land? Is this something I want? Yes, therefore I'm going to do it. I choose yes, and I am open and ready to receive. I love to tell myself and the universe that I'm open to miracles happening. I'm open to being surprised. I know that it's already happening, but I would love to be surprised, pleasantly surprised. And it's so fun because it's almost like we get to see this as a little bit of a game, because honestly, that's what I see it as. That's what I see life as. It's a game. This is a physical manifestation of our past thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Therefore, what do I want to create going forward? And it's a matter of time if I can hold it. If I can continue to move in that way and actually take action, expand my nervous system to be able to hold it, it's inevitably mine. It's already happening. Okay, drop your questions in the chat too. If you guys have if you guys have questions. Hi, Carol. So good to see you. Okay, so let's talk about the nervous system. This has been a conversation in my world for quite a while. It's really interesting, okay? So this is the ventral vagal system. This is a theory. This is a theory that we're going to go into today. I love. Yeah, oh my gosh, Shelby. My mom and I love to see what we can make happen when we join together. That is huge. So there is nothing that is more unstoppable than women with intention, right? Women with intention coming together. That is where the magic happens. We can do this work alone, and I have no doubt that we can. But when we come together, we're fucking unstoppable. My gosh. Okay, so the nervous system. Let me know in the chat. It's a secret. It's like a secret game. Totally is. Let me know in the chat if you have seen this before, and if you are, yeah, if you are, what's the word? If you know about the ventral vagal system. So basically speaking, the sympathetic, the parasympathetic, and the dorsal vagal system is what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so the parasympathetic nervous system is when we are in a state of homeostasis, balance, grounded, calm, happy, curious. Okay, what happens to our body, our physical body, when we are in that state? Our digestive system works well. Our brain works well. Okay, I think that a surprising, alarming amount of people today have a, what do we want to say? I don't like to use the word regulated, but I think majority, I mean, not majority, maybe like almost half, maybe less than half of people today are existing in their sympathetic nervous system. Like their sympathetic nervous system is stuck on. Okay, people who exist in a fight or flight state, a high stress state for a longer period of time, your nervous system naturally knows how to soothe. It knows how to regulate. A lot of people talking about regulating the nervous system. It knows how to do that. But what happens when we are stuck in fight or flight mode, or stuck, we're never stuck, but we feel like we are, when we are in a high stress state for a long period of time, what happens is our body can't self-regulate. Think about that for a second. So another thing that happens when we are existing in the parasympathetic, when the parasympathetic nervous system is engaged, that grounded, like rest and restore, our body can heal. Our body can heal. Our blood flows well. Our heart is pumping well. Our brain works well. Our mind works well. But something even more is we can actually think. We can actually think. Okay, most people are going around the world today in such a high state. Remember yesterday we talked about the alarming amount of people that can't problem solve? Most of it is because they're existing in a stressed out state. We literally cannot think. When the sympathetic nervous system is engaged, this is like running from tigers. Our body is like ready to run. Our heart is pumping, right? Our like limbs are like, activated. Adrenaline is high. That is the sympathetic nervous system. We could fight. We can run. we can fly away, but we can't think. Okay, so what happens then when we are trying to dream, when we are in a stressed out state, when our body feels unsafe? because that's basically what's happening, right? The nervous system is like our protector, right? It's our alarm system. So when the body feels unsafe, it sends signals to the brain, and the brain gets to decide what we're doing. When the body feels unsafe, as in I'm faced with a opportunity to make a decision that fucking really scares me, it has the same response as if, holy shit, there's a bear. Okay, the same response. Think about that for a second. So the body goes into this fight or flight mode. This sympathetic nervous system is engaged in the same way as if we're running from a bear, as if, at the same, in the same way. Even if we just have a decision to make, or if we did something that made us feel really uncomfortable and we posted on social media, or we put our prices up, or we launched a new offer and nobody bought, right? We can be triggered in that way. The sympathetic nervous system can be engaged. So what happens when we want to try to dream and ask ourselves, maybe I ask you, if all things are possible, what do you want? And if you're in a stressed out state, you can't even think, never mind dream. So it's very important for us to be in a calm, grounded, regulated, balanced state when it comes to changing our situation. When it comes to, we're going to talk about time bending in a second again. I love it so much. When it comes to changing our results, dreaming, quantum leaping, we must be in a grounded, calm state, because otherwise it's like it's almost like we're building a brick wall around ourselves. Has anyone ever felt this before? Okay, so here's another example that might be relevant. Is like, I am faced with a decision to make, and I've never done this before, and I don't know how it's going to work out, and it feels actually really scary. Okay, what's going to happen when you go to make the decision? Your body is going to send out those signals. I'm not safe. Therefore, the mind is going to say, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And often what we do is we continue to repeat that to ourselves. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, what we're doing there, I see it as literally adding a brick around ourselves. I don't know what to do. And then that's in like the sympathetic nervous system is like kind of freaking out. That is where fawn comes in. That's where we start to shrink. We start to hide. We start to want to go to bed, right? And not get out. We start to like question everything, question ourselves, and we start to give our power away. Okay, is this resonating with anyone? Like, when we say I don't know, it comes back to that piece of we have lost faith. We have lost faith, and we are trying to do life as a human being. Human being life is not easy. It's not. It's blissful at times. It's absolutely beautiful, right? It's what we're doing this life, right? We are human beings. We have human bodies. We're having a human experience, but we are, remember what I said? Spiritual beings having a human experience. So the moment that we remember that, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. I don't have to depend on masculine hustle grind, figuring it out, linear logic. I can actually surrender and ask myself, if all things are possible, what do I want? I can calm myself by knowing, let me know if this resonates, because I do this all the time. Whenever I feel my sympathetic nervous system engage, it's like, oh, there we are. That is a signal to me. I have the awareness now, and I know some of you do too, to catch myself and say, I am in control mode right now. I'm in control mode. I have lost my faith. I've lost my faith. And that's all we need to do to switch it. And it's like instantly we can come back to that socially engaged. Parasympathetic nervous system is engaged. We are calm, we are grounded, we can actually think, we can actually process. It's incredible. Once we start to really observe ourselves and how our nervous system reacts to our surroundings, it's incredible what happens. For example, this morning, I was preparing the rest of the slides. My old version of me, my younger self, there's been times where I have let myself feel stressed out. because I'm like, oh gosh, I only have 20 minutes left. I need to finish the slides. I need to finish the pay portal. I need to finish this. I need to send out the email. Like all of these things. I'm like, oh God. And then the time, what happens with the time? This goes into our time bending, right? The time just fucking flies by. And we'll talk about this more in a little bit here, but what I do now is I bend time and I catch myself when my tendency is to be overwhelmed and to stress about it. I actually, seriously, I catch myself and I'm like, no, I've got all the time in the world. And I'm going to create this. I'm going to have so much fun creating this. And I'm going to slow down the time. Incredible. We know meditation slows down time. Actually moving our bodies, right? Caring for ourselves, time slows down. Why? Because we change our frequency. All right. So we now have a little bit more of an idea of the homeostasis, the parasympathetic, the importance of catching ourselves, reminding ourselves, I'm not alone. I have faith. I co-create my reality with something so much bigger than me. I'm an infinite spiritual being. Everything's happening for me. Holy shit, I can calm. It's all in divine timing. I can let myself calm down. Okay. Anytime we're in the sympathetic, we don't make it mean something. We don't write a whole novel about it. We just catch ourselves. I am feeling this way and I come back. I'm going to share a little bit more about my tapping method in a little bit here. Okay, but what about the dorsal? Dorsal vagal system is like the freeze mode. So if we don't catch ourselves when sympathetic nervous system is engaged and those thoughts of lack, limitation, maybe people pleasing, panic, anxiety, whatever it is, are really intense, sometimes what can happen is we can spiral further down. Okay, so on some graphs or graphics or whatever, you might see the dorsal vagal system at the bottom. So we can see the sympathetic nervous system. We can see it as like this like higher energy sometimes, like panic and anxiety. And then dorsal is a low vibration. Dorsal is like depression. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but for me, it is very easy for me to feel low vibration. Okay, so dorsal is like disassociation. It's like collapsing. It is like, I want to find a cave. Okay. And so, like, sometimes what we need when we are recognizing that that's what's happening, that our dorsal vagal system is engaged, sometimes we can just rest, right? But sometimes, if you guys are familiar with the doshas, right, we have vata, pitta, and kapha. Dorsal is like kapha energy. You know, what is good for a kapha? Someone with the dominant kapha energy, for example, what type of yoga does a kapha love to do? Are you guys familiar with this? The kapha is like slow. They want to do yin. They want to like meditate. They want to lay in shavasana for the whole hour. But what do they need? They need some vinyasa. They need some ashtanga, right? They need to move their body. But at the beginning, it might feel a little abrasive, but that's what's going to shift their energy. That's what's going to help them to shift their mood and their frequency. Okay. So when we are convincing ourselves of a new idea and a new identity, and we are embodying being her, what happens to the nervous system? What happens to the nervous system? It can freak out a little bit, right? Just like we talked about, when we want to do something we've never done before, what happens to the nervous system? The body sends a signal. Oh shit, this is uncharted territory. I've never done this before. This is crazy. You are nuts. What are they going to think? Okay, I want you to listen to this, because when you have those feelings of what are they going to think? I'm going to be judged. I'm going to lose friends. Sympathetic nervous system engages, we shut off. We're ready to run. We're not thinking. We're not, some people are like, I'm so not good at tech. I'm like the worst person on like technical things. And they sit there and they're like, this is so stressful. I don't know. I'm like, obviously you don't know because you can't even think right now. You were in such a state of panic, anxiety, and overwhelm and irritation and anger that you are totally in your sympathetic nervous system right now. That is what is engaged. And of course you can't think. So we come back, okay, what if I did know? What if I did know? So cool. It's incredible what happens. So to come back, bring it into faith, bring it into embodiment, is that is what's happening. When we go to do something new, sympathetic nervous system tends to engage. Okay. We don't want that to happen. We want to normalize. We want to normalize these new realities. That is our work. That is what we're doing here. Normalizing being that multimillionaire, being that best-selling author, being that world traveler who never has to worry about money, being that version of you who makes money while she sleeps, like whatever it is. We are practicing normalizing that. Okay. So I want to those of you that are inside my Expand membership. So Expand is my tapping and business membership. And this month of July, we are still doing a Blissiplined challenge. You guys might have seen this floating around, okay? Blissiplined, and Kelty, if you're on here, I would love you to share in the chat how it's going for you. Oh my God, Kelty has like the most amazing stories about it. Okay, so when we're normalizing being her, being our highest self, she has some habits that maybe the younger version of us, even 2 minutes ago, uh, didn't have. Okay. And I'll say this in simpler terms. I don't like to say that I or we are not her. Therefore, when I'm speaking of missing something, I like to speak of a past version of us missing it, not currently. Does that make sense? I know it's a little bit confusing. So the highest version of you has some habits and beliefs that maybe you don't have right now. Okay. And I'm going to say, even obviously, you don't have right now, because otherwise the gap wouldn't be so big or it wouldn't be there at all. Okay. So yesterday on the visualization, we began to observe her, get to know her. We asked her some questions, right? And she gave us some information. We watched her, how she moves, how she dresses, how she smiles, how she feels, right? And that's information that we can bring into the 3D physical world now and move as her, move accordingly, right? So living in Blissiplined is, when we think about those habits, some people will tell you, well, you need to be more disciplined. You need to be more disciplined. You need to show up more consistently. You need to be more disciplined. You need to wake up at this amount of time or this hour, and you need to do this workout every single day, and you need to be more disciplined. I don't believe it. Okay. I do believe in regularity, consistency, organization, of course, because when we are organized, the mind is organized. But I love to see it as existing in Blissipline. In Blissipline. Kelty said, oh, yes, Blissipline has been an incredible journey. I said that cool thing about discipline versus Blissipline, and I wish I could remember to say. I've gone further with Blissipline than I ever did with discipline. Yes, give us some examples, Kelty. Come on. So good. So I'll give you some examples. Okay, so we created Bliss codes, and I'm sharing this so that you can do this too. Okay, we decided these are what she does. Instead of, I'm just going to close the door here for a second. This guy's cutting the grass. Hopefully you guys could still hear me okay. Instead of telling ourselves we need to do these things, we listen to our body. She listens to her body. She moves her body. She fuels her body with the best fuel, right? She grows her beliefs and her mind, right? So she studies. She surrounds herself with like-minded people, right? The list could go on. Like, this is what she does, but the determining factor here, the difference between discipline and Blissipline, is we do it in a different way. We don't tell ourselves, I need to do this. We do it because it's what she would do, and we do it in a new way. That makes sense. So living in Blissipline is something you can do right now. I am blissfully moving my body because it's what she would do, and it's who I am. I am blissfully preparing my meals and my snacks for my family and for me ahead of time because it's what she would do, right? Most days she gets up with the sun. So without the pressure of having to, there has only been 2 days I didn't get up. Since the brain injury, I struggled to brush my teeth every day, but she does it. And I've only missed one night since I started. So much more. You even told us, I saw on your social media that you shared the thing about releasing weight from your body unintentionally. My gosh, because she fuels herself differently. She takes care of herself differently. She moves differently. So that is impressive and so blissful. It is blissful. It gets to be easy. It doesn't need to be this masculine discipline. I need to do this. And then when you don't do it, you're like, oh my God, I'm such a failure. No, I live in bliss. Every part of my life is bliss and it gets to be so fun. All right. So you see the difference, and that helps us to regulate the nervous system as well, right? Never eaten so well now that she fuels herself and gives herself nutrition. I've let go of 9 pounds without even trying. Yeah, amazing. So fun. So fun. Okay. And that was never the intention, but she's healthy. She's active, right? She fuels herself well. So let's bring it back to the nervous system for a second here, because if the body feels unsafe, what happens? It sends signals to the brain. The brain triggers the sympathetic nervous system, right? So when we don't eat, eating for me is a big one, actually. And I avoided eating for a really long time. And it's not like I starved myself, but I didn't prioritize it. I would prioritize everyone else but me. And as a mom, I think that's very common. So the first thing I do in the morning is I move my body before the house. I intentionally get up before everyone else in the house and I go for a walk. Most mornings I do a sweaty workout, a YouTube workout, you guys. Literally, I bought myself some ankle weights, hand weights. I love it so much. It makes me feel so alive. And I feel so strong and so good. And I am doing that for longevity. It's because that's what she would do. Lifting weights is important. It's so vital for women, especially as we move closer to 40 and beyond. Like we need to lift weights. So that's what I do. I love it. I do it in bliss. Yes. And then I feed myself. I grab an apple first because it helps my digestive system to get going. Because I have in the past had a sluggish digestive system is such bullshit because I was actually not giving my digestive system anything to start it. I grab an apple and then I make sure that I eat something with protein before I start my day, before I sit down for work. In the past, I would have said, oh, all right, I got lots of things to do. Let's go. And literally, like, let's go. And not even eating until midday. And then I would be so anxious, overwhelmed, and basically shaking because I'm so, like, basically high and existing in my sympathetic nervous system. By lunchtime, I'm like, I can't even breathe. I just need to eat something. But now I have had this awareness. Wow, I make my own bread, so I know what's in it. Because that's a big thing for me is like, I don't want to just put anything in my body in the morning. I want to know exactly what it is. So I make my own bread and I put some peanut butter on top. And that's my breakfast most mornings. And what happens there is my body grounds. Okay, if you are someone who feels flighty, um, this is going to change everything for you. Eating breakfast, grounding yourself in this way. Protein is very important for this. Okay, so that is as well. Yeah, slacking on eating after breakfast, and I can feel the difference on my eating after breakfast. Do you feel like are you saying you just eat breakfast? I make myself put my daughter in front of the TV so I can do my workout in sauna every morning. I hate her watching TV, but it makes such a difference to me to exercise and prioritize it myself. Yes. And after working out. Yes. Absolutely. So Shelby, what I did is I actually bought another yoga mat. I bought two other weights, weights. I bought like some tiny ones for my small daughter and some medium ones for my bigger daughter. And if they want to come out there with me, they're out there with me. Like this morning, as he was right beside me on the yoga mat, like it's hilarious. But if I feel like I'm being distracted, I just put in my headphones and I put the phone in front of both of us so she can do the workout with me. And I just encourage her along the way. A few words here and there. She loves it. Yes, the kids work out with you as well. And then from there, I did tapping. I did a lot of tapping this morning, working through some things. And she sits on my lap. And I'm watching us because I like to look in the reflection of the glass in the mirror or on the door. Yes. Yeah, well, totally. Okay. And we do our tapping together, right? And like it's incredible hearing her little voice. It's so beautiful. We do that too, but some days she just can't get into it. Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, I have three. So and Kara has three too. Maybe Kara has better advice for you, but for me, I'm like I very intentionally created independent children. They go and feed themselves. There's always been a snack drawer. Like there's always been their stuff is very accessible. I'm not saying you don't do that. You probably do too, Shelby. This is just like my own suggestions. But yeah, if she can't, there's most some days they're only there for 2 minutes and then they peace out. Some days they're there for the whole time, and that's amazing. But we're leading by example, and I love that so much. Okay, so I just want to share a little bit about the expand method here. You guys keep chatting in the chat there. So I created my tapping method to help us to expand our capacity to perceive, receive, and hold more. Because what happens, remember when we talked about the nervous system, and when we want to believe that this is available, when we want to take this action and make these decisions, we don't want the sympathetic nervous system to be engaged. We want to normalize it. So that's what my tapping method helps us to do, is normalize new situations. Okay, so there's three sections, there's three pieces to it. The venting and processing. So we release the information like we did 2 days ago, right? You guys tried it out. We release the information, we vent it, any like limitation, anything that we believe is blocking us, stopping us, or holding us back in any way, we release it out through the venting and processing. And then we heal and we soothe and we give ourselves grace. We see our inner child, we send it love, like we forgive ourselves and anyone else involved. And then we activate and we expand, because we don't just want to regulate. When I started tapping, I started to realize, I started to get tired of trying to find something that was wrong with me. I'm like, nothing's wrong with me, actually. I just want more. I just want more. And I want to normalize a new experience. I want to create a different reality and different results for myself. And so that's where this came from. This is one of our tools that you can utilize to help yourself to normalize new situations. So help yourself to remove resistance, and it happens right away. You guys experienced tapping before with me, probably. I've got a lot of free tapping over on my Instagram. If you scroll through, I tap most Tuesdays. Didn't yesterday, actually. Most Tuesdays I'm live tapping. Okay, I also have the tapping membership you can try for free for 7 days. And there's different styles of tapping, right? There's the different processes that help us to get to the point of expanding. But the truth is we need to not believe that we still have work to do, is honestly like by the time, no one can convince you that you're healed. No one can convince you that you're ready to do the work. No one can convince you that you're ready to put yourself out there. Only you can. Okay, so what are you convincing yourself of right now? That is the question. That is the realization. And it's not until, okay, I'm actually ready. I'm ready. It's scary. It's so scary, but I know that I'm ready to put myself out there in a new way. I'm ready to do X, Y, Z. At some point, I decided as a party for me to work out, and now my kids know that mom is working out. Yeah, exactly. We do it with her, play on our own, speak with them as well as to why this is important for me as a woman to be best. Yeah, exactly. I do the same. Kara. I've had that same conversation, and I think that we are just, setting just incredible, what's it called? Just like being such a good role model for them, right? And showing them prioritizing health is very important. Very important. So collapsing time, you guys. Oh, there's a few more things I want to talk about. We might run over a little bit today because I also want to show you something and invite you into something that's really, really special. Okay, so collapsing time, slowing down to speed up. So there are 4 elements to collapsing time. Okay, this is my opinion. I was just pondering this morning. The first one is your relationship with time. If you want to collapse time, you need to become aware of your relationship with time. Do you believe that time is against you? There's never enough time. Time always goes by so fast. You never have enough quality time. You never have enough focus time. What is your relationship with time? Because you get to choose and you get to change that and you get to bend time. Okay, is time on your side? And all it is deciding this is actually how I view time now. And I'm actually going to consciously catch myself if I say anything other than this. This is what it is. This is my relationship with time. The second one is the embodiment of a new idea. Okay, so new beliefs around time, new ways of moving, new actions, new way of doing things. This is another, when we're talking about collapsing time, when we are being someone we've never been before, the frequency attracts. We move differently. This is how we collapse time. Okay, obscene, delusional faith. Believing in the unseen, knowing and being, not waiting, right? Leaning into that faith in a really big way. And then lastly here is like-minded community. Consciously choosing to get yourself in spaces like this, showing up fully and completely as you and letting yourself be around people like you, immersing, letting yourself be vulnerable and real, declaring your dreams, your hopes, your desires in community like this. Because for most of us, most of the people around us, like we said before, are not studying this material. They do not understand the law of attraction, law of vibration, law of assumption, any of those things. So being in like-minded community, especially if you are in the business, I guess like in the business of getting better and becoming the best of yourself, it's very and very important. Okay, so the law of assumption is, it basically states that what we assume to be true will be our truth. So I want us going forward now and right here and now to watch our assumptions and our words, because we can actually speak new situations and old situations into life. And most of us are creating from the past because we are looking at our current results, looking at the money in our bank account, looking at our Instagram analytics, and we are allowing that to determine our assumptions. Well, only 2 people showed up for my masterclass, therefore no one's going to buy. Right? Oh, no one liked my post, I'm a failure. Okay, do we see how the law of assumption is so important and most of us are using it completely against ourselves? So starting now, I want us to watch our assumptions. This is also relevant when it comes to other people. Okay, how are you assuming that the people around you show up? How are you assuming that they're going to react to you? Especially the more you start to take up space, the more you start to be your highest self. How are you assuming that they're going to react or to meet you, right? This is so powerful and we can actually play with this. Remember, life's a game. Okay, the law of assumption. So if we are assuming I'm going to be judged, people are going to hate me, I'm going to lose friends, no one's going to understand me, no one's even listening, all of those beautiful things, what's going to happen? More of that. The universe is like, all right, if you say so, right? Okay, you are the producer and the main lead in your show. So instead, we're going to start to assume what we do want. I'm assuming that everything's working out even better than I could have ever dreamt. I'm assuming that people are going to start showing up out of nowhere. I'm assuming that I receive payment notifications while I'm sleeping. I'm assuming that I'm constantly pleasantly surprised. Like everything is working out in my favor. I am assuming that the people closest to me are going to start to recognize, holy shit, you've changed. You are incredible, right? What are you assuming? Let me know in the chat. And again, be vulnerable. This is us, right? If you're going to share your deepest, dreams and your desires, this is the place to do it. Okay, if you're going to declare it to the world, declare it to yourself, declare it here. Okay, because yeah, we can assume that we're going to be judged, right? We can assume that no one's listening. But the moment that we start to play with this law and we start to use it in our favor instead of against ourselves, everything starts to change. I love to write, right? So when I'm writing, I write out what I want. I write out the desired outcome. It's not like, oh, I feel like nobody's paying attention. Nobody sees me. Nobody understands me. I used to feel those feelings, and they do come up sometimes. Remember, we're all human, but I can catch them. I'm a multimillionaire. Yeah, you are. I can catch them, right? And I now know that they are not new feelings. If you guys have been around for any of my inner child quantum healing sessions, there's some of them in I think there's one actually, two, in the Expand membership. It's so incredible when we start to see these similarities. Something happened in the past. We talked about that yesterday, right? Something happened in the past. It's kind of became like this core memory, this core piece of my identity. And then it still controls me today. Oh my God. Therefore, when I had this realization that, holy shit, it's no surprise that I was feeling, no one's paying attention. No one hears me. No one understands me. No one wants to hear what I have to say. And then I look back, holy shit, that was my experience as a tiny child. I had trauma around that and being told, no one cares. It doesn't make sense. What are you even on about? Be quiet. All of those things. Isn't that insane? I have like goosebumps sharing this because when we start to really build awareness, we realize that our reality right now, the way that we move, the thoughts we think, the beliefs we hold around everything and anything has something to do with something that happened in the past. And remember yesterday and the day before, we talked about whatever happened for me because I get to alchemize that. I get to make it part of my mission, my karmic responsibility. Yeah, I'm assuming we're going to find a way to create income that flows with our new lifestyle and doesn't make us feel stressed and will also be something that we share gifts to healthy earth in our community. I believe it. I believe it so much. You guys have so much to offer. Completely agree. It's happening. It's all happening. So the law of assumption is a really, really important one. So we're going to continue to assume what we want, not what we don't want, and catch ourselves every time. I'm assuming that we will get someone to rent their home while we're gone. Yes, they're coming. And now it's almost like this game. We get to see, ooh, is this our renter? Is this our renter? We're moving through some big stuff right now too with, some of it. And I'm like, wow, I'm open and ready to receive, and I'm open and ready to be pleasantly surprised. And I'm like sitting on the edge of my seat, in joyful expectation of the wish fulfilled. Okay, so fun. I'm going to stop feeling worried about it. Yep. So, and I love that you declared that. I'm going to stop feeling worried about it. When we say, there's a quote, I think it's by Neville Goddard, whether it's feared or revered, it will clothe itself in the most efficient way or something like that. Yeah. And it's basically stating that whatever we say and whatever we focus on will manifest, even if it's like, I don't want that. I don't want more stress in my life. What is manifesting? You guys know that, right? It's just like a tiny little like tweak with words. Okay, instead of saying, I don't want more stress, it's, this is what I do want. So yes, I'm going to stop feeling worried about it. You're no longer worried. This is what I am. I live in joyful expectation of the wish fulfilled. This is what's happening. And we declare it over and over again. So the cycle, you guys, I'm sure you all have existed and experienced this cycle. And the one I want to speak to today, there's a lot. The one I want to speak to today is one that's really relevant for me and what I see happen with the women in my world. And this isn't true for all of you. I don't want you to believe it is or think that it is, but the cycle tends to look like something like this. You come to a class like this, a master class. Some of you have been here for all 3 days, and I'm so freaking proud of you. Like, you're incredible. Okay. But then we go out into the world. A day goes by. Maybe we're feeling excited. We're holding the energy. We're holding the vibration, the frequency. We start to talk about it, share it a little bit with our partner. Oh my gosh, like, what about this? What about this? What if we did this? And then maybe we're met with a little bit of, well, how's that going to work? A little bit of resistance, a little bit of contrast. And we're like, no, no, I'm assuming, the wish fulfilled. I got this. And we continue on in that way, maybe for another day, maybe for another 2 days, maybe for a little bit longer. But what I know to be true is that there will be a time where we start to question it. Okay, because this is why. It's not that you can't do this alone. It's not that you're insignificant or not good enough in any way. It is our human nature. We have lived 30, 40 plus years in the same way, walking the same jungle trail. You guys know my jungle trail analogy. Walking the same jungle trail, the same thoughts, the same beliefs, the same or similar actions. The moment we step off of it, it's foreign, it's unknown, it's a little more tedious. The mind starts to bring us back and say, no, 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 come back. It's nice and clean over here. It's nice and safe. You know, it's nice and safe over here. It's a lot easier over here. And then when we're presented with that contrast, what happens? Sometimes, let me know if this is resonating or has resonated in the past. Have you felt this before? Sometimes you're like, actually, yeah, what the hell was I thinking? Jocelyn's crazy. This doesn't work. And it's so freaking hard. Okay, that's the cycle I'm talking about. Okay, and it's not, although it feels very real, it doesn't have to be your reality. And again, I want to say that I'm not saying you can't do this alone. I just know through my own experience that it is not as, I don't want to say efficient, because we can exist. And maybe some of you actually think that some of you here, either live or on the replay with me, have been in this cycle for a really fucking long time. And you're here because you're like, I know faith is the missing answer, right? I'm done. I'm done with that all in and then all out crumble. And I'm ready to change the cycle. Okay. Let me know if this is resonating even a little bit in the chat. You guys, this is exactly why I'm going to share something with you that, in my opinion, it is exactly what I have always wished for. Okay. It is the most high vibe supportive space on the internet today. It brings us all together, all of us visionary, entrepreneurial, unconventional, wild and free women together. And remember what we talked about, like we can do this alone, but what happens when we're together? We change the world. What happens when we have people just like us in our court, brainstorming, masterminding, dreaming together, encouraging each other to go bigger, to go farther, to be our highest self. Some of you might remember the Quantum Leap, but I am reopening the doors for the Quantum Leap Mastermind. Yes, exactly, Kara. So good. So the Quantum Leap Mastermind is a 6-month mastermind where visionary women collapse timelines together. Okay, so it's for the one who knows that in the right room, everything accelerates. This is not your average hangout with other people who are bringing drama to the table. This is a space where we expand together. So if you don't know what a mastermind is, it's so much more than a question and answer. This is not where you just, I've been in masterminds before. I've been in multiple masterminds, and there's been some where I'm like, wow, this is just fucking group coaching. And that's disappointing. Okay, group coaching is Q&A. You basically show up. This is what we do in Expand. And I love it. It's great. It's a great opportunity to come and bring your questions and things like that. But masterminding is for the woman who doesn't want to rise alone. Okay, so it's not that you can't, it's that you don't want to go alone, because you know that it's so much more efficient. And you know that the most successful, influential people in the world are not alone. They're not doing it alone. They're in multiple masterminds. They have multiple coaches, multiple support systems. They have therapists. They have everybody supporting them, because we are human beings. We are community creatures. So a mastermind is like a high frequency room of women committed to their own evolution and the evolution of the group. So this is a space where your ideas, your wisdom gets witnessed. You bring it to the table and we expand it together. How can we go bigger? How can we expand? What is limiting you right now? What do you believe is in your way? Where can we close the gap? Okay, so it's an energetic container that obviously I called it the quantum leap for a reason. It's a fast track. So over 6 months, we've just been spending the past 3 days together. And especially if you're somebody who is now aware of that cycle and you're like, I am so done. Imagine what 6 months of linking arms with not just me, but a group of women that are deeply committed to their quantum leap, not just incremental 2x, like logical linear growth, actual collapsing time. I am here to lead a intentional movement. Isn't that beautiful? Wouldn't that be fun? So I want to talk about what makes this different and so unique and special, because there are lots of masterminds out there. Of course, I am not your average in any way, but the women that are inside, they want a 10x. They want to, maybe they have businesses already. Maybe they're playing with the ideas of getting online and expanding their visions. Because if I know anything to be true, it's this. I attract women who have a heart of gold. We are here to make a big impact. Okay. Is that you? Let me know in the chat. You're here to make a big impact, right? You are here to change lives. You are here to give back. You're here to leave this earth better than you found it. Yes, absolutely. All of us are. We're not here to just be fucking multimillionaires for the hell of it. We don't want, and like I have this and had this battle in my head for so long where I don't like luxury handbags and sports cars, right? And I had this battle where I was like, oh my God, there's so many people like being so scammy, making insane money by like being seedy. And that makes my skin crawl. We're here to help other people, to help them to live better lives, to help them to unlock freedom and realize that their own potential, to help them to live the life that they're here to live, right? Whatever that looks like for you, it's unique. It's completely unique to you. So whether you are in the coaching mentorship business, or maybe you're in service providing, creating courses, maybe you have, an online movement for Kara, it's more like, a global movement of freedom-seeking human beings who want to raise their children intentionally, right? Like these are all incredible things that when we come together, it's not just I'm mentoring you. We're bringing all of this magic to the table. That's what masterminding is. We bring it all to the table as our own authentic beings, and we contribute to the conversation and we lift each other up in this unique way. Okay, we talk about everything. Can be motherhood, manifestation, travel, nervous system, boundaries, lifestyle, pleasure, money. Did we say money? Like this is everything. Okay, so that's what makes it so unique. So if you're ready to move and change your results in a really big way and commit in a way that feels blissful, we're not talking about, all right, I now need to like create this 5-step plan and reverse engineer it and do all this like heavy lifting. No, like I specifically made the quantum leap to be that, a quantum leap. I'm not here to lead you through some like A to B to C to D type process, because it's going to be so unique to each and every one of you. So the quantum leap is an identity upgrade and we go together. Okay, so I want to give you guys a gift. And the gift is that you can join the quantum leap at 50% off. Okay, this is only going to last for 24 hours, but I want you to sit with it and just feel, is this what I want? Do I want to be surrounded by women who are just like me, quantum leaping? Am I brave enough to commit to declaring that I am ready to collapse time? I'm ready to drastically change my life, and I'm ready to get inside a space where I will be expanded, where I will be just like activated. And if that is you, I encourage you to take advantage of this 333 a month. Okay, It will eventually be 666 and beyond. It is a 6-month experience, and I want to show you what's inside. Okay, so we have weekly calls, weekly mastermind calls that are 60 minutes long. That's where we meet together as a group and we open up. This is mics are off, right? I mean, mics are on. Everyone's mic is on, right? This is conversations, next level conversations, bringing our own vision, wisdom, everything to the table. And we mastermind together, okay? We also have a group chat, which will have embodiment. I'll be sharing audio drops. We have the vault, which is going to be a course, kind of like when there's something that comes up, I have like 15 different trainings that I want to create to put into the vault. Okay, you are joining this as a founder. As I build out the vault, it will grow while you are inside. Okay, you also get bonus access into all micro programs that I offer within your 6-month term, which means that you're already inside quantum manifestation. Okay, that's a 6-week program coming up soon here. You also get bonus access into the expand membership for the whole 6 months, which is my tapping and business membership. There's alumni opportunities where you get first access into, I want to plan a retreat. I want, you get private coaching opportunities, all of those good things. It's all included. And that's insane because 333 is ridiculously low. And then you also got a monthly private calibration call with me. Okay, where we meet together at the start of the month. Those of you that are committing to this and you're jumping in, you will have your private calibration call as early as this week. Okay, you will have your first call with me as early as this week. So we will have monthly calls where we calibrate your energy, your intention, and your frequency to match where you want to go. Okay, I'm going to help you with recommending tapping. There's probably going to be times where I create customized tapping sessions for you. And really, I am supporting you on this journey, specifically with these private calibration calls. Okay, so opportunity is on the table. You can join us if you feel called to be in community with other women who are deeply committed to their expansion and their quantum leap. This is going to be an incredible time together over these next 6 months. And I'm so excited to see what we create together, because that's essentially what we're doing. We're creating together and it's going to be incredible. Okay, so before I let you go, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Yes, Shelby, so good. And I also want to draw the winner for the private call with me. If you guys remember, I gave away a private manifestation activation call for sharing the training. So you either shared the graphic or you shared like a screenshot of the training or whatever. And our winner is Shelby. You win. Yay. Shelby won the manifestation activation call. So I'll connect with you. Yeah, we can book your call. And I'm so excited for all of us, you guys, so much. Like, I don't know if you feel this, but like, there's a lot of shifts happening right now, a lot of things changing. And I think, like, in my opinion, the opportunity is now to come together and to just like commit to the next iteration of our lives. And we have this ability to be in community together. And I'm creating this sacred space for all of us to come together and to show up as our highest self. And you can join for like this insane price point right now. And you also get me personally for monthly calls. Okay, so I'm going to send out the link. The link is also right here. I'm going to send out the link via email. You can get in. I'm going to put the price up very soon, like tomorrow. I'm thinking around midday, I'm going to put the price up, okay, to 444 because 333 is very, very low. And I want you guys to know, like, there's so much value in this. Often the price point, when there's a low price point like this, it signals to our brain, oh, it's not much value, but I want you to know there's a lot of value here. As you guys might know, I pour everything into you guys and I love this so much. So the Quantum Leap Mastermind, the doors are open and I'm so excited to invite you guys inside. So thank you so much for being here. For those of you that are watching on the replay, Message me directly. 333 ends on July 24th. If you're watching in the meantime, grab this link. If you're over on YouTube, grab this link that you see on the screen and jump in at this insanely low price. And yeah, if you're watching out in the future, like message me directly to see when we're opening enrollment again. Okay. Yay, you're so welcome, Shelby. Amazing, you guys. I'm so proud of every single one of you for showing up for yourself today and these past 3 days. You guys are amazing. I hope you can start to perceive and have already shifted so much over these 3 days. Now imagine what's going to happen when we spend 6 months together. Holy shit. You ready? Let's go. Okay. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. Go and have the best day ever, being the highest version of yourself. And I can't wait to see you inside. Bye, you guys. Thank you for being here. Ah, you're so welcome, Kara. So good to see you. Bye, Kelty. Ciao.